I'm reading a book called Tribe by Sebastian Junger, and it's about being in a tribe and being part of a tribe. And he describes how, why the military, why fighters, why people in war, they hated it, but they loved it. And he talks about in the book where when a soldier who has come home, a vet, and someone asks him, what do you miss about the war? And he says, everything. And the book talks about when you're in war, you're in this tribe, you're so connected, you're responsible for each other. And I've loved reading the book because I sometimes think about like my tribe, and both my tribe, like my kids and my wife, and am I taking responsibility for them? And he talks about in a tribe, you take responsibility, right? Different from a company or a group of colleagues, but when you take responsibility for the other people, that starts to create something called a tribe. And I think that with my kids, I am responsible for them. For better or worse, if they act badly, that's a reflection on me. I'm responsible for who they are and how they behave. And I know that's controversial, but it's about taking responsibility. And I think that with you right now, I don't know a lot of you specifically. In fact, most of you I don't, but you're in my world at some level. Either you're buying my research or you're reading the content. But I take a responsibility for how I present information, how I create information, how I show you and describe to you what I've learned in really 3 decades of looking at the market. And it's really kind of like a tribe, and that really has that word really makes sense to me. So it being Thanksgiving this week in the United States, I want to thank you. And whenever I feel down or when I'm feeling bad about myself, I've learned that gratitude is one of those ways that can bring you out of feeling down and feeling bad. And so I often thank, the universe. I thank them for my son and my daughter and little things like I'm thankful I can see, I'm thankful I can hear. But I am thankful for you, and I'm thankful for you giving me your time and reading my content. And every once in a while you send me a note or you say something collectively how you appreciate really hearing, and you've heard it, and when you heard it, like that is the right thing or that's the way. So I want to thank you for being in my world and for reading my views and opinions and occasional rants, because it's made a difference to me, and it's made a difference to my kids, and it's made a difference to my life. And so, hopefully you can look to your world, or maybe let me say it differently, look to your world and find 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 things that you can be thankful for. Even if it's something simple like I'm thankful for how the sun hit me today or how it hit the leaves on the tree. But when you find those things that are thankful, it really helps you put a lot of things in life in perspective. At least that's what it's done for me. So thank you for being in my world. This week, I'm just going to thank you. And maybe I should thank you more often. And next week, we'll come back to a lot of insights. I've watched so much this week, and I have all these insights that I want to share with you. And one of them just came out from the guy who runs the Yale Endowment. Most of you know the name David Swensen. And he said something, and I'm going to talk about this next week, but he said something in this interview. He's being interviewed by Robert Rubin, one of the ex-U.S. Secretary of Treasury. And what he said, I don't know if you've ever heard people talk before and they say something that just strikes you so clearly, but he said something in that interview that I was like, oh my gosh, that's the whole interview right there, and no one caught it. And I don't think anyone will ever catch it, but I caught it, and I want to talk to you about it next week. So thank you for being in my world, and if you value me and if you value the content that I provide to you, please like, share, and forward it, because it makes a difference. And guys, this is RC Peck, and this is just another step in helping you protect your portfolio and your future. Okay, thanks.